dependence, dependence, dependence.
It's when something or someone is needed to function, feel okay, or get by. Here's a sample sentence. The country's economy was heavily dependent on foreign aid, which made it vulnerable to fluctuations in global markets. In this example, dependent means relying or being influenced by something else, in this case, foreign aid, for support or stability.
Dependent, dependent, dependent.
This means someone or something relies on another person, thing, or situation for help or support. Here is a sample sentence. She became dependent on her phone and couldn't imagine going anywhere without it. In this example, dependent means relying heavily or excessively on something, in this case her phone, to the point where she feels unable to function without it.
Depict, depict, depict.
To show or describe something, often using pictures or words, so that people can imagine what it looks like. Here's a sample sentence. The artist's painting was able to depict the serene beauty of the sunset on the ocean. In this sentence, depict means to show or represent something. In this case, the sunset through art.
Deplete, deplete, deplete.
This word means to make something run out or finish, so there's none left. Here's a sample sentence. The severe drought would deplete the town's water supply within weeks if they didn't find an alternative source. In this example, deplete means to reduce or exhaust something, in this case, the town's water supply, by using it up or wasting.
Deposit, deposit, deposit.
It's something you give to someone else, usually money or an object, with the understanding that they will take care of it for you until you ask them to return it. Here's a sample sentence. She made a deposit on her new apartment, paying a portion of the rent up front to secure the lease. This sentence demonstrates how the word deposit can be used in context. Let me know if you'd like more examples.
Deposition, deposition, deposition.
It's when someone tells their story, usually under oath, about something that happened to them or what they know about an event. Here's a sample sentence. The lawyer spent hours questioning the witness in preparation for her deposition, which would be used as evidence in the trial. In this example, deposition refers to the act of giving sworn testimony, typically in writing or on video, that can be used as evidence in a court case.
Depreciate, depreciate, depreciate.
This means to think or say that something is less valuable than it really is, often because it's old or worn out. Here's a sample sentence. The value of my car depreciated significantly after I drove it off the lot. In this example, depreciate means to decrease in value or worth.
Depreciation, depreciation, depreciation.
This is when something that was once valuable becomes less valuable over time, often because it's getting older or worn out. Here is a sample sentence. The value of my car depreciated significantly after I drove it off the lot, losing thousands of dollars in its initial market price. In this example, depreciation refers to the decrease in value or worth of an asset, in this case, a car, over time.
Depress, depress, depress.
It means to make someone feel sad or unhappy. Here is a sample sentence for the word depress. The news of her passing depressed me, and I couldn't shake off the feeling of sadness that lingered all day.
Depressed, depressed, depressed.
This feeling is when someone's mood is very low, and they might feel sad or unhappy for a long time. It can make everyday things seem less enjoyable, and they might struggle to find happiness or interest in things they usually like. Here is a sample sentence. After losing her job and struggling to find a new one, Sarah felt depressed and struggled to get out of bed in the morning.
Depression, depression, depression.
It's a feeling of being very sad or unhappy for a long time, often making everyday things feel hard to do. It can also affect how you think and feel about yourself. Here's a sample sentence. After losing her job and struggling to find a new one, Sarah felt overwhelmed with sadness and struggled with depression. This sentence illustrates how the word depression can be used in context to describe a mental health condition characterized by persistent feelings of sadness, hopelessness, and loss of interest in activities.
Deprive, deprive, deprive.
This word means to take something away from someone, often against their will or without their permission. Here is a sample sentence. The new development plan would deprive the community of its only public park, sparking widespread opposition from residents.
Deputy, deputy, deputy.
This person is someone who helps or represents another person, often in an official role. They act on behalf of that other person when they're not available. Here is a sample sentence. The sheriff appointed John as his deputy to help maintain order in the small town. In this example, deputy refers to an assistant or subordinate who helps someone in a position of authority.
Derive, derive, derive.
This word means to get or come from something else, often by using or applying its rules or principles. Here is a sample sentence. The scientist was able to derive a new formula from the existing data, which led to a significant breakthrough in the field. In this example, derive means to obtain or get something, in this case a formula, by using or applying something else, the existing data.
Descend, descend, descend.
This action means to go down from something, like a high place or a level, to a lower one. Here's a sample sentence. The hikers began to descend the mountain, carefully making their way down the steep and rocky trail. In this example, descend means to move downward or come down from a higher place.
Descendant, descendant, descendant.
It refers to someone who comes after another person in a family line, often many generations later. Here's a sample sentence. She was a direct descendant of the famous explorer who had sailed to America centuries ago. In this sentence, descendant refers to someone who comes from a family line that includes an ancestor.
Descent, descent, descent.
It's when something or someone moves downwards from a higher place to a lower one. Here's a sample sentence. The family's ancestral home was located in the old castle that dated back to their noble descent from royalty. In this example, descent refers to the origin or lineage of a person or group, indicating that they come from a particular family or social class.
Description, description, description.
It's a way to tell someone what something looks like, sounds like, or feels like, using words. Here's a sample sentence. The artist's detailed description of the painting helped me to visualize its vibrant colors and intricate patterns. In this example, description refers to a written or verbal account that provides information about something. In this case, the painting.
Desert, desert, desert.
A place with very little water, often hot and dry, where plants and animals struggle to survive. Here's a sample sentence. The vast desert landscape stretched out before us, with towering sand dunes and cacti as far as the eye could see. This sentence uses the word desert to refer to a hot, dry region of land, typically characterized by sandy or rocky terrain.
Deserve, deserve, deserve.
This word means to be worthy or entitled to something because of how you've acted or what you've done. Here is a sample sentence. She deserves a break after working so hard all year. In this sentence, deserves means that she has earned or is worthy of a rest. The word deserve typically implies that someone has done something to earn or merit a particular outcome or treatment.